So, Panache, I noticed that you seem like you're more in the moment than most people I meet. So when you're talking, you're not, it doesn't feel like you're thinking about what you're going to say. It doesn't feel like you're thinking about anything else but the moment. Can we all do that?
Yes, we can. It's our birthright. It's who we are. You know, it actually, spirituality in some ways helped, but in some ways it's become yet another limitation that we have to go beyond. Because all of this stuff is our birthright. You know, and so just relax, just know that, you know, the divine loves you, the divine accepts you. And the only validation you need is your breath. You know, because with each breath, the divine's renewing your lease and renewing your purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really that simple. You know, and so for me, I love being here. I love being human. I love being human. I enjoy being human. I enjoy everything there is in this human experience. It's such a blessing being human, you know, having the illusion of another person. Like right now you're there, you know, in another form, but I get to look at you and I get to behold you and say, you know what, wow, I love you, you know, in a different form. Yeah. Like how cool is that? Like that doesn't happen, and we get to eat food here, you know. So I always say to people, you know, planet Earth is like the Las Vegas of the universe. If you're not having a good time, you know, there's something you need to look at, because this is the only dimension where we have the illusion of separation. We don't have that in any other dimension. There's just one constant stream of light that permeates everything, and you're a part of everything. So here we have the illusion of separation, the illusion of another. Wow, there's another person. Cool. Hi, you know, like that. You know? And so for me, I'm just in that flow more often than not, and everything just unfolds spontaneously for me.
So that illusion of separation, the way that you're describing, is actually a gift.
It's a blessing. Separation is a complete blessing. Because without that, right, and we'd be drooling and walking around like zombies, wouldn't we? I mean, it would just be very boring, wouldn't it? You know? It'd be boring, you know? So here we are, one consciousness embodied in 7 billion different forms. How beautiful is that? And we're on the verge of realizing it. The difference isn't something to be afraid of. The difference is something to be celebrated.
And appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, to me, I've been shown lately that peace on earth is simply appreciating our differences. And moving into that from an energetic space. I mean, you know, those are words, but there's an energy behind it.
Yeah.
Appreciating our differences, appreciating that you might have a different opinion than mine.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And that I don't have to change you in order to be happy.
Right. That's exactly it. I said to people, and I said, just write this down. There's going to come a day when every major world religious figure gets up and realizes that they've all been having the same conversation in different languages. And it's all just gotten lost in translation.
Right.
It's coming. But that's based on us loving and accepting and embracing ourselves.
It comes from that first.
It does, because, you know, and even in India, right? So the foundation of everything in India is God, Guru, and Self is one. There's no separation in that statement. You know, the Western version is, Jesus said it best, I and my Father are one. Where's the separation in that? There isn't any, you see? And so own who you are, own the brilliance that you are. You know, we have to stop this culture of projection, you know. And people do it because they feel insecure and unworthy in who they are. And they're not. And it's time to remind people of that. You're not broken. You don't need fixing.
Never been broken.
There's no difference between you and I.
Yeah.
I just have the courage to sit in this chair and speak this truth. That's it. You know, come and play. You know, be you. You know?
So is the day of the Guru ending as well?
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes.
It is. It's a model that doesn't work. You know, and most of my peers will never acknowledge that. But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because in and of itself, it creates a hierarchical structure. Even though the foundation of it is there's no separation, people have been conditioned over thousands of years to put someone on a pedestal.
Yes.
And the very second that happens, the whole thing is over.
Right.
And so that's why I'll never have an organization or a structure. There's no hierarchy. There's nobody ahead. There's nobody behind. You know, oneness is all inclusive, or it's not oneness.
Right. But there's also a three-dimensional structure that kind of dictates a hierarchy, that dictates you know, corporate structure and laws and so on. How do we manage through those?
Well, I mean, how's that working? You know, I mean, you just have to have a look at how it's been playing out, you know, and how it's been working.
So we can all invent new ways of being within our own domain.
I've had to I'm continually inventing new ways of being. But that's when you abide in the spontaneity. So for example, I just did a webcast on business and applying the new paradigm in a business setting. And how do we do that, you know? And so I'm telling all these CEOs and business execs that, listen, try allowing and receiving. And they're like, allowing and receiving? I wasn't raised that way. I didn't read that. No, try it, right? And right now we've got people, you know, I get to be with people from all over the world, and we've got people all over the world in allowing and receiving. They're authentically just allowing for things. And business is going through the roof.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what we found
because
in
the
our
new
business.
paradigm is allowing and receiving. There's no competition in that. You know, there's an infinite world, you know, and there are infinite possibilities, and there's infinite people out there. So where's the limitation and lack? It's only in your own mind.
It's interesting. It's reminding me of risk, the notion of risk. And risk sounds like a scary word, and it's not quite vibrationally resonant with what we're talking about, but it's part of what you're talking about. It's almost like as we move from this place of individuation and from this place of separation and from this place of projection to a place of what you're talking about, authentically being and allowing and having space for yourself and others. It feels like the division line is risk.
Yeah.
And so there's a risk in doing that. But there's the greatest risk for me is not doing it. What are your thoughts on that kind of philosophy that I just gave you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I like the risk. I would say courage.
Courage.
I'd say courage.
Courage.
That's just how I'd label it.
Yeah.
And of course it takes courage. Because it's no different than when everyone believed that the earth was square and somebody said, no, it isn't, it's round.
Right.
And when someone said it was round, they thought, oh, you're mad. You know, lock him up in an asylum. Until somebody sailed off the edge of the world, and then everyone who still believed that it was square was mad. Well, that's the paradigm shift that's happening right now. So fear, lack, and scarcity is the dominant paradigm.
Right.
It takes courage to own the beingness that you are in the face of that and to say, you know what, there's a different way. And there's a way in which everybody can win. There's a way in which everybody flourishes and everybody benefits. And we can also generate abundance, but not at the cost of somebody else. We uplift everybody along with us.
To me, that's service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we move forward in a space of abundance from a kind of a platform of service.
Yes. So abundance in being is love. It's unconditional love. The divine's love for you is unconditional. Absolutely. It's health and vitality. It's money in the form of finances. And it's connection to source. Connection to source. And so all of those aspects for me are abundance. It's so much more than just money.
Yes.
Because when you're in alignment with that, money is a side effect. It's not the goal.
Right.
It's not the goal. Because you're in alignment with yourself.
Right.
And when you're in alignment with yourself, everything flowers and flourishes.
And yet, you know, something you talked about earlier, which is life shows up for you when we are seeking abundance because we are in a illusion of not having.
Right.
That illusion of challenge is what nudges us to actually move into the space that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Let's just end it all right now, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Okay,
do
just
it.
open
Okay.
your palms. This
Okay.
is something I love doing with people.
Okay.
Just take some breaths and close your eyes. And these are not just words. This is a vibrational resonance that you're receiving right now. So the first thing is, I'm divine. I am divine. I am divine. I love and accept all that I am and all that I've been created to be. And I'm here to live as an infinitely abundant being. I'm here to live as an infinitely abundant being. That is my true nature.
It's like the dogs are actually saying it.
Yes, they are. They're like, we already know this. You know, come on, humans. Clock's ticking. You know. But that's it. Just and just really receive that. So the foundation for me of any exploration is that you are it already. I've yet to meet one person that started meditating because they were a whole and complete expression in and of themselves. Right?
Damn, my life sucks. I gotta meditate.
I haven't met one of those, right? And that's why most people embark on a spiritual pursuit or seeking abundance, right? But the truth of who you are is you're it already. You're it already. And when you come from that space, that's when the magic happens.
And the magic is happening right now.
Yes.
Because the moments in your life that brought you to a place of seeking, that brought you to this video right here, is the blessing and the miracle that this audience created.
Yes, they did.
And you created, and I created.
Yeah.
To have this moment.
Yeah. This is the reminder. This is the reminder to step into a new paradigm of trusting and allowing as a vibrational state, as a vibrational way of being and living your life, because that is how your soul and your essence is. That is who you are. That's who you are. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful conversation. I can feel myself has changed, the audience has changed. So as we finish this up, are there any final thoughts?
Just, you're not broken. You don't need healing. You don't need fixing. You are a divine being with an infinite potential. And it's time for you to realize how magnificent you are. It's time to put yourself first and to access the gift that you are right now. And I love you and thank you for loving me.